Have you ever felt like professional financial analysis is just a game that's rigged against you? Well, today we're going to break down a tool that's looking to change the rules completely. This is ZenAsset, the AI financial analyst that actually promises to show its work.
So it all starts with a problem that, let's be honest, a lot of us have felt. Whether you're a part-time investor trying to learn the ropes or you're a seasoned pro at a hedge fund, the whole landscape for doing deep financial analysis just feels broken. It forces you to make some really tough compromises.
And these are basically your choices, and they're not great. On one side, you've got these institutional monsters like a Bloomberg terminal, which costs a wild $32,000 a year. Or you can spend 20+ hours of your life manually wrestling with Excel spreadsheets. Then on the other side, you've got these new AI tools. But they either give you an answer with zero sources, or they're a complete black box, so you have no idea how they got the answer. You just can't trust it. Okay, so this is where ZenAsset steps into the picture. The core idea is incredibly simple. It's the first AI financial analyst that actually shows its work. And the best way to think about it? It's like GitHub Copilot for finance. It's not here to just give you an answer. It's here to give you the transparent, repeatable analysis behind the answer.
All right, so to really see what that means in practice, let's ask a question that analysts are always debating. Is Tesla undervalued? This is where the difference between ZenAsset and everything else becomes totally clear.
And this slide right here is the aha moment. Other AI tools might just spit out a number. Yep, fair value is $285. And that's it, a total black box. ZenAsset, on the other hand, gives you the whole story. You see every single calculation step. You see the exact data sources it pulled from. You see all the assumptions it made. And it even gives you a sensitivity analysis so you can see how the outcome changes if those assumptions are different. So how does it pull this off? Let's dive into the first big feature, which is all about cutting through the absolute chaos of financial news to find what actually matters, the signal. I mean, just think about a company like NVIDIA for a second. If you wanted to really truly understand its story over the last year, you could try to read 10,000 news articles. That's impossible, right? No human can process that much information effectively. And that's where the old way of doing things just falls apart.
And this is the solution, and it's brilliant. ZenAsset has this time machine feature that uses narrative analysis to just distill all that noise. It shows you the key turning points that actually drove the stock's price. You know, like the narrative shifting from data center recovery early in the year to the AI arms race that made the stock explode. It turns an ocean of text into a clear, actionable story.
Finding the signal in the noise is one thing. But what if you could take that insight and turn it into a strategy you can use again and again? Well, that brings us to the second huge advantage here. This isn't about one-off reports. It's about building your own personal, scalable playbook.
The workflow here is just so powerful. You build a really detailed analysis just one time. Then, you save it as a template. The next time you need that same kind of analysis, you can just apply it to any other stock in like 3 minutes. And you can even scale it up and apply it to an entire sector all at once.
So the key thing to get here is that your hard work is never wasted. Your unique models, your specific methods, they stop being these one-time things and become reusable recipes that you can pull from your personal library anytime.
Okay, the features are impressive for sure, but what does this actually mean for real people? Let's check out a couple of user stories to see the impact this is having and how it's turning workflows that used to take weekends into something that takes just a few minutes.
First up, meet Alex. He's a software engineer, invests on the side. He really wanted to learn how to do a DCF valuation, which is a pretty common method, but he was just getting lost in confusing YouTube tutorials. So with ZenAsset, he just asked for a DCF valuation on Apple, and by reading the totally clear, step-by-step output, he finally understood how it actually works. It became a learning tool for him.
And the result for Alex? Pretty staggering. A process that could have easily taken him 20 hours of frustrating research was crunched down to just 15 minutes of actual productive learning and doing. That's a massive difference.
Now, let's look at a power user. Jessica is a quant analyst at a hedge fund. Her old workflow, it would take her 2 full days just to code a single backtesting strategy. Using ZenAsset, she built that exact same strategy in 10 minutes, saved it, and then ran it across 50 different stocks in just 5 more minutes.
And this chart just visualizes that impact perfectly. Instead of being able to test maybe 1 idea per week, she can now test 10 ideas in a single day. That's a 10x multiplier on her productivity and on her ability to find winning strategies.
And you don't have to take my word for it.
In her own words, she says it's a game changer for alpha generation, which is just industry speak for finding an edge that beats the market. When a pro analyst says that, you know the impact is real. We're talking about creating a genuine competitive advantage.
So let's just put it all together. This table sums it up perfectly. When you stack ZenAsset up against the alternatives, it's a clear winner on the things that matter most. It gives you complete transparency, which other AI tools don't. It's fully reproducible, which even a Bloomberg terminal isn't. And it does all of this at a price point that is just a tiny, tiny fraction of the big enterprise tools.
You know, this isn't really about just a better tool. The people behind ZenAsset see this as a fundamental shift in the entire process of financial analysis. It's about creating a completely new workflow for the age of AI.
And this slide just drives that point home so well. The old way? Hours and hours of manual data digging, fighting with Excel formulas, trying to build a slide deck. A 4 to 6 hour slog. The ZenAsset way condenses that entire process into a simple 5-minute conversation with an AI. You ask a question, you get a report. It really is that direct.
And that gets to their core vision. They say, we're not building another financial tool. We're building the analysis infrastructure for the AI era. So they're thinking much bigger than just a product. They're trying to build the foundational platform that's going to power the next generation of financial work.
And that leaves us with one final, really powerful question. When you lower the barrier to doing deep, rigorous analysis this much, taking it from days down to minutes, what new strategies, what new insights, what new opportunities will you be able to uncover? It really makes you think about what's now possible.